casseroles can't be healthy? Well, think again. Today I am sharing 5 absolutely delicious casseroles that are high in protein, wholesome, satisfying, and absolutely delicious. Your whole family will love them. Let's get to the kitchen. Let's get to cooking. I also want to add these recipes are exceptionally easy. Like, dump the ingredients into your baking dish and go. They are easy. We're beginning today with this amazing chicken and wild rice casserole. It's definitely a favorite for me in my house. So spray a 9x13 baking dish with nonstick spray. Then you're going to add half of a large yellow onion right in there. Just dice it. 2 ribs of celery and 2 large carrots. Toss them in your baking dish. Then add in a tablespoon of minced garlic, followed by a 1.5 cups of uncooked wild rice. I love wild rice so much just because it's relatively high in protein, low in fat, and it's fairly affordable at the store. It also just tastes really good. Then add in a 1/2 cup of uncooked orzo. Orzo is kind of like pasta. It's also very affordable at the store for how much you get in a box. A little bit of orzo does go a long way. Then I'm going to add in my seasoning, so a teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, a 1/2 teaspoon of paprika. Then toss in your 1/2 teaspoon of thyme and Italian seasoning, along with a 1/2 teaspoon of rosemary. Then you're going to add in your broth. You could use really any type of broth that you have on hand. You could use chicken broth, you could use veggie broth, any broth will do. I'm using 3 1/4 cup of chicken broth today. After you add in your broth, give this a super duper good stir. You want the seasoning, and the rice, orzo. You just want everything mixed together super well. Then add in 6 boneless, skinless chicken thighs. The reason I'm using chicken thighs is because they're high in protein and they're a very affordable cut of chicken that you could buy at your store. They also stay very juicy when you bake, chicken thighs for a while in the oven. Season your chicken with salt, pepper, paprika, Italian seasoning, thyme, and then this is optional, but you could place sliced butter over the top. Cover tightly with foil. Bake this in a preheated oven to 400 degrees for about 65 minutes. After your 65 minutes of baking, remove your foil. Just give this a little stir. You want to give it a little mixy mix, and then you're going to bake this for an additional 20 minutes uncovered or until that orzo is tender. Same with that wild rice. You want the rice and orzo to be tender, and then you could serve this beautiful, healthy chicken casserole up. If you're looking for a crowd-pleasing chicken and veggie casserole, well, this is it. All of these ingredients also reheat wonderfully. So if you want to make this ahead of time and you're going to have leftovers, or you want to make extra for, lunches or dinners throughout the week, this is just a great recipe to do so. You could store it in containers in the fridge, reheat it in the microwave very easily. It is so flavorsome. It's packed with flavor. That wild rice is perfection. That chicken is juicy and so herby. Oh, I just dropped my new favorite bowl. So here's a bowl. My sister got it for me for Christmas. I just dropped it and I am so sad. It is my new favorite bowl and my sister got it for me. I just wanted to show you. Anyway, here's what it looks like in my kitchen right now. Now we're getting started on this zucchini turkey casserole. This one is so good. To a large pan on the stove, add in a 1/2 of a yellow onion that you diced. My onion was fairly large. A tablespoon of minced garlic and a pound of leaner ground turkey. Or you could use ground beef, ground chicken, or any meat substitute. Just break the ground turkey up and you're going to want to cook it through at this point. Now I'm going to get started on my zucchini. So I have 2 zucchini right here. I'm just going to slice them into thinner pieces. We've actually been a little under the weather, so I've been doing a few grocery pickups for the last, couple weeks, and I don't know if you saw, but in last week's video, they gave me cucumber instead of zucchini. So I am glad that I actually got zucchini this week in my grocery pickup. Ground turkey and zucchini really don't have much flavor, so you do want to season this well. I'm seasoning it with about 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and paprika. I did throw in some oregano in there as well, but just give this a little stir, and then after you're through stirring the seasoning,
seasonings in with the ground turkey. You're going to add in a 14-ounce can of drained diced tomatoes, or you could add in a couple like fresh diced tomatoes. I didn't have fresh diced tomatoes on hand, and I really like canned diced tomatoes, so that's why I use the canned tomatoes. But add in your zucchini, and then you are going to give this a little stir. Let the zucchini cook with the rest of the ingredients for about 5 minutes. Once the zucchini starts to get a little bit tender, you're just going to remove this from the heat. Now over to an 8x8 baking dish, just add the ground turkey zucchini mixture right in there. Then you're going to stir in about 1/3 cup of mozzarella cheese and 1/3 cup of Parmesan cheese. If you're trying to avoid cheese right now, of course, you don't have to add the cheese in, but it does add some great flavor. And then over the top of the casserole, you do want to add a little bit more cheese. Add in 1/3 cup more Parmesan and mozzarella. And then I am going to make like a breadcrumb mixture. This mixture is so yummy. So to this 2 tablespoons of olive oil I have in this clear bowl, add in about 1/2 cup of Italian style panko breadcrumbs. The Italian style breadcrumbs just give it a lot of extra flavor, but if you only have like plain breadcrumbs at home, just add some like Italian seasoning, oregano, salt, and pepper to those like plain breadcrumbs, and then you basically get like Italian style panko breadcrumbs. But just sprinkle that over the top after you're done stirring the oil and the breadcrumbs together. This is going to bake in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 25 minutes. This is a great like lower carb dinner option. It was so good. I ate like 2 or 3 servings of it just because it was that delicious. I'm going to make this again here soon with some ground beef instead of turkey, just because I accidentally bought, quite a few rolls of ground beef the other day. But anyway, this was just so good. You have to give this one a try. This black bean and rice casserole has just been a go-to in my house for years, so spray your 9x13 baking dish with nonstick spray. I do want to let you know all these recipes today, they're easy to double or half if you want to make them, for more people or less. But add 1 cup of uncooked white rice into your baking dish, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 10 ounces of either red or green enchilada sauce, 15 ounces of drained and rinsed beans. I'm using black beans, but any beans will do, that you have in the back of your pantry. 1 cup of chicken broth, 1/4 cup of salsa, any brand will do for the salsa, 1.5 tablespoons of taco seasoning, and then you're going to give this a good whisk. You want the taco seasoning and everything to, get mixed together super well. And then over the top, I am going to add my chicken. I know I can't be the only one, but I oftentimes forget to take my chicken out to thaw, and then when dinner time rolls around, I have frozen chicken. So tonight for dinner, I am just using 6 frozen chicken tenderloins. You could use like chicken breast, you could use thawed chicken, but like I said, I forgot to take my chicken out to thaw, so I'm using 6 frozen chicken tenderloins. Just season them with a dash of salt and pepper, and I did flip them around just so they get coated in the sauce. Cover this tightly with foil, bake it in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for 50 minutes. Once out of the oven, just remove the foil and sprinkle 1 cup of Colby Jack cheese over the top if you're a cheese fan. Bake it for about 15 more minutes. Top it with your favorite toppings. Then you could serve this up. This is just an easy go-to chicken and rice dinner. This is the perfect dinner for Taco Tuesday to switch up the regular Taco Tuesday. It is so yummy. We topped ours with avocado, cilantro, red onion, sour cream, and lime, but go ahead and top yours with anything that you enjoy. This is also a great make-ahead dinner, so you can make it ahead and enjoy it throughout the week. This quinoa casserole is for all of my meatless meal friends. Grab your 9x13 baking dish, spray it with nonstick spray, add in your beans. I'm using like drained and rinsed pinto beans, a 15-ounce can of those, a 10-ounce can of diced tomatoes with green chilies. It's like a cheap version of Rotel. Then add in your 10 ounces of either red or green enchilada sauce. I used green for today. 1 1/4 cup of veggie broth, 1 cup of uncooked quinoa. I love quinoa. It's really nutrient rich. It has lots of fiber in it. It really is like a great meat substitute. Also, it's like fairly affordable for how much you get in a bag at the store. I normally just get mine from like Walmart. Next, I'm adding in about 1.5 tablespoons of taco seasoning. If you don't have taco seasoning on hand, you could just use like salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, chili powder, cumin, and oregano. But just give this a stir, cover it tightly with foil, bake it in a preheated oven to 375 degrees for about 25 minutes. remove the foil, give it a little stir to stir around that quinoa, and then you're going to sprinkle your Mexican style cheese over the top. I like to go on the heavier side with like the cheese for this recipe. It just makes it so good, but just bake it for an additional 15 more minutes. Top it with your favorite kind of like taco toppings. We did cilantro, red onion, a little bit of salsa, sour cream, and avocado. This is so good. For a while I was actually making this like in a large batch of it and then having it for lunch for myself throughout the week. Also, like, you know, giving it to my husband for lunch throughout the week. It's just a great easy lunch or dinner that you could reheat quick, and it's also just like very flavorsome. Now we're making this lower carb broccoli Alfredo. So to a pan on the stove, add in a pound of ground beef, or you could use like ground chicken, ground turkey, or any meat substitute, you know, per usual. Just break that ground beef up and cook it through. Over to a pot of water, I'm adding in my huge 32-ounce bag of frozen broccoli. You want to cook the broccoli only for a few minutes. It doesn't need to be completely cooked through. You basically just want it no longer frozen. But now that my ground beef is cooked through, I'm just adding in a tablespoon of minced garlic, along with a half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, and a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Give this a good stir, and then you could remove it from the heat. But back over to my broccoli now that it is through cooking on the stove. All I'm going to do with my broccoli now is strain it. This recipe is so easy to throw together. So I'm just straining it in my over the sink strainer. I don't know if anybody else does this, but instead of using hot pads when I'm wearing like a sweater or something thick, I normally just use like the sleeves of that sweater to like carry the pot like I am with the broccoli. Probably not the best idea, but I'm sure other people do it. But to a 9x13 baking dish, add in your cooked ground beef along with your broccoli. Just give this a little stir. You don't want the ground beef, you know, completely on the bottom of the baking dish. Then you're going to add in 22 ounces of Alfredo sauce. Broccoli is a really good high protein veggie. It's also super affordable for like a huge frozen big bag of it at the store. So if you're looking for like some healthier meal ideas while still trying to be on a budget, frozen broccoli is a great option. After you add that Alfredo sauce in, give it a little stir, then add in some salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning just for added flavor. Then you're going to add in a third a cup of Parmesan cheese and a half a cup of some cheddar cheese. There is some dairy in this recipe, but give it a little stir, and then after you're through stirring this up, over the top of the casserole, you're going to sprinkle an additional third a cup of Parmesan cheese over the top and an additional half a cup of cheddar cheese over the top. This will bake in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 25 minutes or until it's bubbly and golden brown on the top. One of my little ones was requesting mashed potatoes, so we served this over a bed of mashed potatoes, but to keep it like super lower carb, you could serve it over a bed of cauliflower rice, or you could do like regular rice. Also, one of my little ones was trying to show me that she washed her hands and she was ready for dinner, and she wanted me to smell like the pretty soap on her hands. So that is what she's doing. But this was so yummy, full of flavor. We're getting started on my favorite zucchini boats. I absolutely love making these. To a pan on the stove, add in a pound of ground turkey or any ground meat, a diced yellow onion, a dash of salt and pepper, then a half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Break that ground turkey up and you're going to cook it through. This recipe is absolutely delicious. I've done it in the past with Italian sausage and it just is amazing. Anyway, over to a cutting board, I am going to slice 4 zucchinis in half lengthwise, and then I'm going to scoop out the inside of the zucchinis. The very first time I made this years ago, I thought this was going to be so hard to scoop the inside out. It's really easy to do. You just scoop it out with a spoon, and there you go. Very simple to do so. Now that my ground turkey's cooked through, I'm adding in 24 ounces of pasta sauce, and then you're going to give this a stir, let it cook together for a couple minutes, and then if you're a cheese fan, add in a half a cup of mozzarella cheese. If you're not a cheese fan, just don't add the cheese in, but give this a stir, let the cheese melt down. Now over to my large baking dish, I'm going to spray it with nonstick spray, and then if you're wondering what I'm doing with the inside of the zucchinis, you know, like the leftover zucchini filling, I'm actually going to use it in a couple days for some spaghetti sauce. I'll just add it into my spaghetti sauce and it's going to make the spaghetti sauce go further, so I'll just keep it in my fridge. But I added the zucchinis into my baking dish. Now I'm going to scoop some of that ground turkey pasta sauce mixture right inside. I found it's easiest to do so with a like cookie scoop. Anyway, over the top I'll sprinkle with a little bit more mozzarella cheese. I'll cover this with foil, bake it in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for 25 minutes, then uncovered for an additional 10 minutes. These are absolutely delicious. I started making these about 4 years ago. I was super skeptical about them at first. I kind of thought it was an odd combination. I promise, just try these once and you will love them. I serve this with a side salad, and for the dressing, I use some of this Skinny Girl balsamic vinaigrette. I'm basically almost out of this dressing. I've been loving it recently. It's so good.
I have so many more videos like this on my channel, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.